A mostly cloudy good morning to you. A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Station, along with Matthew Lester, and we're looking at some glimpses of sun. It's trying, but for the most part, we've got a lot of blowing snow around. It is creating somewhat of a problem as far as travel goes, especially if you're out in rural areas. So just give yourself a little bit more time because you should be able to get wherever you want to go. It's just simply going to take a little bit more time doing it. As far as our weather is concerned, we had a snowy weekend for the most part. Not a lot, just traces of snow here and there. We'll go through how much is on the level in some locations here in just a moment or two, but about an inch of snow overnight all across the Great Lakes Bay area, northern Michigan, and over on the west side of the state, a little bit more. And now that coupled with some strong gusty winds coming out of the west, 25, 30 miles per hour or so. We should be looking at some wind gusts of 40. And my guess is we're pretty close to that here in the 11 o'clock hour. Freeze warnings are up for cold air all the way down to Orlando, Florida, to the Florida Panhandle, as well as most of Georgia and Alabama and over to Mississippi. They're looking at some pretty chilly temperatures as we go through the next couple of days. And then the cold air really kicks in. That's a whole different story. We'll talk about that in just a second. Matthew, right now, what do we have as far as our temperatures go?
Well, over at the airport, we have some snowfall at 12 degrees. Over in Midland, it's cloudy at 14. Here at Radio Center, we also have some snowfall, but it's at 13 degrees. We have southwest winds at 28 miles per hour, gusting up to 37 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.76, and it's steady.
I guess if you wanted to call it a hot spot, you could. 18 degrees down in the Detroit area, 16 degrees over by Mount Pleasant, 14, 15. Well, Harbor Springs right now is looking at 16 degrees. Traverse City is reporting 17. Then you get up into the Upper Peninsula. We've got a handful of cities reporting temperatures below zero as of right now. The warmest spot right now in the UP is Manistee, where they are looking at 12 degrees with some light snow. Ironwood, just to name one, Sawyer Gwynn, another, Houghton, they're all below zero as of right now. And they are looking at winds coming out of the north, the northeast, and the northwest, gusting up to better than 41 miles per hour there. What are we looking at here? Well, we mentioned the freeze warnings all the way down to Orlando, Florida, and all around the Gulf states. That is going to continue for the next few days. They have had some traces of snow being reported in the Florida Panhandle, around and to the east of Pensacola. Not so much the case along the Gulf Coast, where you're talking Alabama, Mississippi, those areas. But if your memory is about you right now, about a year ago, there were some locations in Alabama right on the Gulf Coast where they reported more than 8 inches of snow right about this time of the year last year. Not so much the case, but the threat of some real cold air is right around some of those areas where they do have orchards. 4 to 8 inches of snow is in the forecast and has happened in the New England states. And as we said, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, traces to as much as an inch of snow there. Blizzard conditions along the Michigan shoreline with Lake Michigan. And, of course, winter weather advisories are up and will continue to be up for a good part of the day today, tonight, and the morning hours tomorrow morning. How much snow? Well, as a rule of thumb, Michigan's thumb area, literally from the upper thumb area all the way down to the Detroit area, you got to look at I-75 and US 23 along and east. You're talking at snow depths of anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of snow as of right now. Over on the west side of the state, all the way from the Indiana border up to and around Traverse City. You're looking at snow depths of anywhere from 6 inches to as much as 18 inches. And of course, in the Upper Peninsula, quite a bit more. More than 4 feet of snow being reported in Herman, Michigan. You take a look at the UP, 7, 8 inches all the way up to 48, 49 inches all across the Upper Peninsula. Now, West Branch, they're telling us they have 9 inches of snow on the ground. The Mayo area is reporting 7, and Alpena right now is reporting 6 inches of snow on the ground with more on the way. Looking at a high temperature today, a little bit warmer than what we're looking at right now. We should make it up to about 17 degrees, but then that temperature is going to be dropping as we go through the afternoon. The winds will continue to be very strong out of the west, gusting to better than 40 miles per hour, better than 30 miles per hour wind gusts tonight with that west breeze. After a high of about 17, we should be looking at a low of close to 0. We'll say 2 for a low tonight. Sun will set this evening at 7:31, rise tomorrow morning at 8:03. Now, tomorrow, not as warm as what it'll be today, 14 for a high tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, snow showers around. The snow shower activity is going to continue. Lake effect activity will continue through the night and into a good part of the day tomorrow. We'll only drop down to 12 for a low tomorrow night, so only a drop of about 2-3 degrees from the afternoon high to the nighttime low tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, we're going to warm up a little bit. We'll be closer to average. Average for this time of the year is 29 in the afternoon and 16 at night. Wednesday's high temperature will be 28, and the low on Wednesday night will be 15. We're going to be looking at some light snow around, possibility, not really much of anything in the way of accumulation for the day on Wednesday. We'll have a southwest wind gusting up to about 25 miles per hour, so not nearly as strong as what we will be looking at today or tomorrow. And then Wednesday night, we'll still have a chance of some snow, a little bit more isolated, 12 degrees, 13 degrees for a low on Wednesday night. And on Thursday, mostly cloudy skies, 18 for a high, 0 for a low on Thursday. Friday, this is when the rubber meets the road. Our high temperature is projected to be 10 with partly cloudy skies, 10 below 0 for a low on Friday night. And Saturday and Sunday, right now, we're not looking for our low temperatures to move above 0 with afternoon highs of 10 degrees for both Saturday and Sunday. Much below normal temperatures to take us through the final week of the month of January for the period of the 24th through the 28th, average when it comes to precipitation. And then to finish it off through the 1st of February, we're looking for our temperatures to still be below normal with the precipitation values to be below normal as well. Record high in the state, 51, set back in 1933. The record low is 22 below 0, and that was set in 1994. Incidentally, the coldest ever 19th of January was in 1994. 22 below was our low temperature. Our high temperature was 2 below 0. The warmest ever, you got to go all the way back to 1933, where 51 was our high, 27 was our low. And the snowiest ever, 19th of January, 1992, we had 5 inches of snow. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. No markets today because of the Martin Luther King holiday, but we do have on tap, Matthew, who?
Coming up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West.
But before we get to Gary, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Legendary Tree Care. You need some trimming done. You need some tree removal done. How about some limbs that might be falling on power lines because the wind out there just got a little crazy with it. Whatever. If it's got anything to do with trees and tree trimming, Legendary Tree Care, they can take care of it for you. No job too big, no job is too small. They are fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in those big projects. Legendary Tree Care, mi.com. That's the address you should be looking online, or like them on Facebook. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. And Gary, no rest for the weary, huh?
Well, no, I decided to come in today because then the markets wouldn't be down. So
there is a method behind the madness.
Always, Jerry, always. So,
hey, how did we finish up on Friday, and what was the reason why, Gary?
Well, Friday we had a positive day, and actually the soybeans, after a dismal Monday, Tuesday last week, after that report on last Monday. But Friday we were actually cash wheat was up 7. That put the white at 498 and the red at 423, and new crop also up 7 at 531 on the white, 446 on the red. Cash corn was up a nickel at 380. New crop was up 3 at $4. Cash soybeans were also up a nickel, Terry, at 988, and new crop was up 5 as well at 994.
That was quite a report last week, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was bearish, and everybody was thinking the yield was going down, and it went up, and it's just kind of extrapolated out to some lot of negativeness, I guess, in the market. So, but yeah, last week we seen overall corn was down 21 cents, soys were down about a nickel, and wheat was actually up a penny. But we did recover some, through the end of last week, and especially in corn, on Friday they announced another 16.4 million bushels of corn export to Japan, as well as some unknown buyers again. And, this was the third straight day with a reportable sale that accounted for almost 52 million bushels. So again, as we've been saying, this is a strong sign that record demand for U.S. corn is still alive and well, and will continue to keep solid support under the prices, which we have seen dips from last week. So that's the good part. So I think, looking at technical forward, we went home 425 on March corn futures. Support is probably 420 there, Terry. So not too much downside expected there moving forward as we get through the winter months and the demand continues to stay strong. Soybeans, for the most part, we did end on a 3-day win streak, I guess, last week to recover some of the negativeness from the report fallout. But support there on the soybeans still remains about 1030. We traded at 1056 going home on Friday. News for soybean markets, pretty slim right now. I mean, all indicators from South America are going to have a pretty hefty crop down there again, but we'll continue to watch export behavior and see how that transpires and see if China's going to come back to the table. But soybeans are priced a little bit higher than what South America is right now, so we'll have to watch the export sales on that. And then the wheat news, Argentina officially completed their harvest last week, and it was a record crop, and so that's the downside on the wheat arena. But on the upside, it's just cold weather we've been talking about. We have some uncovered wheat out there in the plains, and it's a freeze risk to the crops. So we'll have to watch for some winter kill as we get towards the springtime here, Terry. So
Yeah, I was a little curious because, quite frankly, I hadn't heard too much about very much snow on the wheat out in the central part of the country.
yeah, we've always said year over year we're going to kill this wheat crop about a half a dozen times before we get to the out of dormancy here, or once we get out of dormancy in the spring. So
Yeah, well, we're trying.
yes, we are for sure.
So moving forward, Gary, any suggestions to our producers right now?
Well, I think I think the best thing producers can do is get a hold of their marketing advisor, make sure they know what their production expenses are, what they need, for a bottom number, I guess, moving forward. But to have some targets in place for pricing, markets are unpredictable as they always are. Nobody knows where that next black swan event's going to happen, but be prepared for it by staying in touch with your market advisor.
Very good. Gary Kaufman, we appreciate it. You have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thanks, Terry. You as well.
You bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Market Report has been brought to you today by the folks at Thumb Bank, working with agriculture since 1895. Farming, as you can imagine, many challenges out there, and Thumb Bank keeps up with those changes, as well as industry trends and the changes in your operation. Thumb Bank, 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay area. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Market Report also brought to you by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw. They are your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts, quality service, very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. And don't forget that service area is open Monday through Friday till 11 o'clock. On the line with us right now to take a look at the sugar beet industry, so how we're doing these days, Bryce Stein joining us. Bryce's report brought to you by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil and Blue Flame Propane. Bryce, good morning.
Good morning, Terry. Winter is here.
Yep, better get a couple of logs and throw it on the fire because it ain't going to get any warmer.
No, not for the next 3 weeks, it sounds like. So it's going to be chilly.
Now, the piles continue to go down out on the yards. What's going on?
Yeah, so this winter weather is phenomenal for storage, but it does make it a little bit of a challenge to clean up the outstations. We do have a little bit of unvented beets left at one of the stations, mainly due to just the adverse transportation conditions that we've seen here in the last 2 to 3 weeks. But all indications show like that outstation in our non-vented beets should be cleaned up this week. We'll be moving into the ventilated beets across our company, and things are storing phenomenal with this cold weather. Even with the rains a couple weeks ago, things are not showing up like we traditionally see them show up after a rain event like that. So cold weather is definitely helping us out in that aspect.
Now, Bryce, are we ahead of schedule a little bit on some of these beets?
Yeah, we are. With the short crop that we had this year, all indications are we're probably about a month ahead of schedule. We have under 1 million tons left to process, and that shows about a 45-day remaining left of our campaign. So it sounds like the end of February, first part of March, we will be wrapping up.
Boy, that is early.
It is, but it gives us a great opportunity to get inside these factories with our staff and start fixing some of these challenges and educating the staff that we have too of not only operating the equipment, but also getting in there and working on it as well. So that's a great feature that we can have with the shorter campaign, long inner campaign.
And again, it seems like this year the processing moved right along.
It has, yes. Couple of bumps over the last 2 to 3 weeks, but for the most part, factories are performing very well, and allows us to have a shorter campaign and be as efficient as we can be for our growers.
Bryce, again, we want to remind growers and those interested, we've got a really special event coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, February 5th at the Saginaw Valley University, we are doing our Sugar Beet Summit. Many of us are wrapping up our presentations, getting them ready for that this week, and looks to be an exciting topic list that we'll be covering.
Yeah, it sure will. Bryce, you take care. Have a great day. Always good to talk. We'll talk to you again next Monday, all right?
Thanks, Taylor. You too.
All righty. Bryce Stein with Michigan Sugar. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland Seed headquarters. Need some information on getting everything ready to go for 2026? Got a couple of questions you need answered? Vic Huffer and his staff, they're ready to take care of it for you. Remember, serving you is their business, and they've been doing it since 1983, Freeland Bean and Grain. When we return, who do we have up next, Matthew?
Coming up next, we have Jerry Samolsky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
But first, this. Are you looking for a technology solution for your farm that'll seamlessly connect all of your equipment and operations? Ag Leader is your full farm solution from cab to cab, season to season, bringing productivity to all corners of your farm operation. Sync it, steer it, plant it, apply it, harvest it, manage it. There's only one way to do it all. Ag Leader it. Contact PC Ag Solutions, your local Ag Leader dealer at 989-868-4444. And don't forget to mark on your calendar a week from today, PC Ag Solutions Open House. It's going to be held at their shed on Reese Road. So you might want to take that in. It's going to be an old stock and trade in to browse at discount prices. That's what they're going to be offering. And of course, a great time to drop off your meters to prepare for the 2026 season. Food, refreshments, all going to be available as well. And you don't have to call up and reserve space. Just stop on by the shed and take a look and see what's going on. PC Ag Solutions Open House coming up on Monday, January the 26th. Along with us, Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Jerry, Old Man Winter, Phase 3.
I don't know phase what, but boy, it is a phase without a doubt. Our zone 6 plants that we've been put into, that hardiness zone gets us down to -10. So we're going to probably make it with that. And it's not wind chill. Wind chill in plants don't matter for hardiness. Now, the wind does matter with desiccating and drying out some of the evergreens. But as far as the hardiness on plants, wind chill isn't it. It's just straight temperature. So we're going to be knocking on the door of hardiness for some of the newer plants we've been bringing in because of our lessened hardiness or greater hardiness. We can now plant plants that are in typically warmer climates than we used to have. But this, as bad as this temperature still shouldn't bother them.
All right. Good advice. Jerry, we'll talk to you again tomorrow, okay?
Yes, you will. And tomorrow we'll be down at Grand Rapids at the Great Lakes Trade Expo trying to get smarter and learn some new things. So we'll call you from the floor.
We can always get smarter, right?
You betcha.
Jerry, thanks. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Tomorrow, we're going to be out at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center, the Soybean On-Farm Research Winter Grower Meeting will be held tomorrow at the Research Center. Then on January the 21st, it'll be over in Kingston at Biagio's. We'll be broadcasting the farm program from the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you there. What's going to be happening as far as 2026 goes? Farmers, what should you be looking at? Well, let's find out from Michigan Ag Today.
As farmers enter another year of production, trying to make it better than a break-even operation, one expert says to take a hard look at that cost of production. Andy Eubank has more.
Producers don't have a lot of levers, but they got to think about their fixed costs, their machinery costs, their land costs, family living. How can they get those adjusted to try to get themselves right-sized for the profitability story?
That's Agricultural Economic Insights Managing Partner David Whitmar. He adds the big piece is farmland.
Farmland is sort of the final mechanism. When we have profits in the sector, we bid up farmland values, and then we have losses we tend to adjust. And farmland is one of those big adjustments.
In their recent report that used Indiana data, AEI concluded cash rents are really high relative to profitability, especially contribution margin.
We have revenue, we have variable costs, and then contribution margin is what we use to pay rent, what we use to pay our family living, we use to service our debt. But cash rents in Indiana are more than budgeted contribution margin. What does that mean? It's that we don't have anything left to pay our machinery, ourselves, our family, our debt. And so that's a tough spot. We see some adjustment maybe coming in that way. And then the second piece is that farmland is at a really low capitalization rate. So it's at a 2.2% cap rate. That's cash rents divided by the value. Think about it this way: you can go put it into a 10-year treasury or savings account and get something more like 3.5% or 4%. So investors keep putting money in farmland at a 2% projection whenever there's other assets doing better. So the farmland market's going to have to adjust to that as well.
Farm Service been brought to you today by the folks at Ed Raymond and Sons. Quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Carhartts, Red Wing shoes and boots, Stormy Cromer accessories, and more, all available today at Ed Raymond's, 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. They are open 7 days. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.